Hey guys, what's up? This is Bry. Good morning to you. Got my meditation in, was on my way to row and started mind mapping some ideas for today's video and decided, you know what? Let's record it. So today's theme is how to discover your purpose in less than 5 seconds. How do you discover your purpose in less than 5 seconds? Well, a few things here. One, we need to make a distinction between our purpose and our mission. A lot of people get confused between our ultimate purpose and they kind of get on like a holy grail chase in pursuit of that kind of manic, okay, what am I here to do, me specifically? And in the process, they're not too nice to people. Maybe they can get overly ambitious and just aren't happy with life, always feel unsatisfied, etc. Well, we want to reframe this whole idea of what our purpose is, and we want to look at it as something different than the Holy Grail chase and different than a mission. We'll talk about the difference between a purpose and a mission in a moment. But basically, from my vantage point, your purpose is your highest goal. It's our highest goal, which is to connect to the highest within ourselves more and more consistently. And when we do that, we live with a radiant sense of hope and optimism and kindness and love and creativity and joy and beauty and enthusiasm and courage and energy and generosity and playfulness and diligence and patience and persistence and mojo and all the other amazing virtues that help us feel that ultimate currency we talked about in, I think it was the first video, right? Happiness. We feel more alive. We feel like we're flourishing. And we're in a better position when we're plugged into the highest goal, which is plugged into our highest selves. We're living on purpose, and we're experiencing these virtues and these feeling senses. We're in a much better position to figure out what our unique mission is. And the way that I like to think about it is it's kind of like a light bulb. If you want to turn on a light bulb, it's a really good idea to make sure it's plugged in, right? You need electricity. You need to be plugged into something bigger than yourself in order to shine. It's the same thing with us. If we want to shine, we want to have our unique mission really, really coming to life, we've got to plug into something bigger than ourselves. We've got to plug into that highest version of ourselves. Call it God, call it the universe, call it whatever you want. We've got to be connected to that force. When we do that, when we're plugged in, when we make that our highest goal, our ultimate purpose, then we can flip the switch and we're shining and we can figure out much more easily what our unique mission is, and we can go ahead and rock it. So that's really, really, really important to know. And the good news is that you can be on purpose right this moment, in every moment. When we redefine it and we see our ultimate purpose, our highest goal is connecting to the highest within ourselves, we have that opportunity moment to moment to moment. And one way that I love to get there, and we're going to talk about all kinds of different tools to plug into the highest within ourselves and really, really optimize our lives throughout these videos. But one big practice for me is asking myself the question, what would the highest version of me do in this moment? What would the highest version of myself do in this moment? And then disciplining myself to do it. It really isn't that complicated. Seriously, it just isn't that complicated. What would the highest version of yourself do this moment, the next moment, the next moment? When you're feeling fear, you're feeling anxiety, you're feeling stress, maybe you go over here and you practice the gratitude and the grateful flow that we talked about yesterday, or you do another practice that you know keeps you plugged in. Every moment we have an opportunity, as Abraham Maslow says, and we're going to talk about this in an entirely separate video, but you can step forward into growth or you can step back into safety. +1, -1, +1, -1, +1, -1. Every moment we have a choice. Are we going to step forward into the highest version of ourselves, or are we going to step backwards? And if you consistently step backwards and you don't do the thing that your highest version of yourself says you should be doing, you're going to create this huge gap between your ultimate potential and where you are. And that's really painful. So we want to close that gap. Again, we'll go off on this. This will be its own video. But for now, we'll bring it back to your purpose and understanding that your highest goal is to connect to the highest within yourself. As you do that, you're going to experience all of this goodness. You're going to feel on purpose, and then you'll figure out with much more grace and much more ease and much more flow what your unique mission is. So there you go. Plug in and shine. Make that your ultimate purpose. We all have the exact same purpose. We all have a different, unique mission, but we all have the same purpose. which is to express the highest within ourselves. So there you go. That's how to discover your purpose in less than 5 seconds. Anytime you feel like you don't know what your purpose is, check in and remember, you always have the opportunity to ask yourself, what would the highest version of myself do in this moment? And that ultimately, that's what it's all about, to more and more and more consistently live from the highest within ourselves. So there you go. Let's not confuse our purpose with a holy grail chase or our mission. And I'm not saying that the mission isn't important, because it is. We do want to figure out what our unique constellation of gifts and talents and strengths and experiences and how we can give them to the world most fully. But we need to make sure we start here. So we'll do this one in a future one. Hope you dug it. There you go. How to discover your purpose in less than 5 seconds. Have an awesome day. See ya.